What's good, everybody? It's your boy Eddie here, and welcome back to the channel. And I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Currently, we are in LaGuardia Airport, man, and I have to say they leveled this joint up crazy. Anyways, as y'all see by the thumbnail and the title of the video, we got some good stuff coming, so I'll catch you in a little bit, all right? Alright, y'all, so we back in the crib now, and I have to give a huge shout out to everybody that was at the Joe Fresh Goods release. Chicago was definitely a vibe, man. The food was cool, but it was brick and raining that day. I ain't gonna lie, that was a little bit crazy, but I am happy that I was the first person online because I was basically the first person to get in and out and all that type of stuff and make it back to my flight right there, man. It was just almost missed it, but it is what it is on that, guys. So before we even continue, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below, as well as that notification bell. As you guys have seen for the past 2-3 weeks now, your boy has been hustling, going to different states, entering all these raffles, and providing this content to y'all. So I would truly appreciate it if you do hit that button. And with that being said, guys, let's just get right into what you're in here for, which is none other than the Joe Fresh Goods and New Balance 990 V4 in the intro colorway. And personally, for me, I do have to say that this is overall the best colorway. The outros are cool, but they're definitely in the bottom of the list for me, because in second place has to be the Keisha Blues, just due to the fact that if you watch the Belly movie, which the sneaker is inspired by, Keisha has a couple of scenes where she's in the bed and you have that blue filter on the screen, and it just looks really fire. And I love how Joe Fresh Goods was actually able to bring that to life onto a sneaker. And hopefully in the future, if I am able to get a pair of those Keisha Blues, I would definitely be reviewing them, because there's a lot of secret details on them, which I won't spoil now because we're going to focus on these intros right here. So with that being said, guys, let's just briefly go over the box details. And I do have to say that Joe Fresh Goods went all out with this box packaging, because if you look at this right here, it does look like a blacked out NB logo. However, if you was to put a black light on it, this actually goes into the dark. And then when you go into this side of the box, the same thing pretty much follows suit. So with this JFG logo, as well as the New Balance logo, and this made in USA for 75 years detail, all of that glows in the dark. And then once you move on to this side of the box where the sticker tag is located in, this also goes into the dark right here, which I think is a very nice touch, especially that 1998 detail, which we'll focus in a little bit. And the sticker tag just reads off as 990 JR4, and I went with my true to size of size 8. If you guys are conflicted with sizing, I would definitely recommend to go with your true to size. Or if you know your 990 V4 sizing, it's exactly the same on this. It doesn't fit any tighter or looser than other 990 V4s. They fit pretty great. And then once you open this lid right here, man, you have this quote from New Balance, which is basically saying this is a made in USA product, which means it has the most premium details and materials on the shoe, and you can be guaranteed that it's going to be quality and you'll have a great ride with them. And as you guys may or may not have watched my Jow 990 V4 review, they are definitely very good quality sneakers with premium details, and they are built to last. Because with those 990 V4s that I wore for the past 2 summers, I would walk 4 miles a day with them, and I literally just wore them for the release yesterday, and they still look very good. But now I'm focusing onto the inside of the box right here. You can see that we have this custom wax tissue paper with dollar bills all over it, and I'm going to assume that this is a reference to the basement scene when they're counting the money on the table. And if you guys watch the movie, I'm not going to spoil it, but you know what happens there. So that's what I'm going to assume that the tissue paper is for, because remember, Joe Fresh Goods only stated that the whole collection was inspired by the movie Belly. He didn't go into detail on what specific pieces of the collection are for specific scenes. He just left it for interpretation. So that's what I'm interpreting on that. So then when we go into the rest of the box details, you can see that we have that standard New Balance white wax tissue paper. Now with those details out of the way, let's just get right into the history of this shoe. And as I mentioned, Joe Fresh Goods did say that this collection was inspired by the movie Belly, which was directed by Hype Williams and had famous rappers such as Nas playing Sincere and DMX playing Tommy. They were essentially the main characters of the movie, but I do have to briefly mention that DMX was on a run because he also played in the movie Romeo Must Die, which is also one of my favorite hood classic movies, man. That was definitely fire. My boy Jet Li was killing it back then. But also something worth noting is the fact that all 3 sneakers from this collection do have different names. So this sneaker right here is the intro, which I'll get into in a second. Then we have the Keisha Blues, which happens right after the intro of the movie. And then for the third colorway, we do have the all black pair being the outro. So with the outro pair, I'm not too sure what the inspiration behind that is. I'm going to assume that it's because at the end of the movie, DMX is wearing an all black suit with some white details on it, and I think that's exactly why Joe FRESHGOODS put that colorway on the shoe and named it Outro. Then when looking at this intro shoe, I do believe that this is actually to resemble Tommy's house. So after the famous scene that everybody knows of the beginning of the movie, they go into Tommy's house in the Jamaica Estates, and literally the whole house has this color palette. It is primarily cream or in a white color with some small black details all over, as well as that scene where Nas sits in the chair and he does have that black and white poster right behind him. So I think that's exactly why these are called the intro shoe. And of course the Keisha pair is easy to explain because every scene that Keisha is in at the beginning and middle of the movie, she has this blue filtered background, which I do love from an artistic standpoint. With that being said, guys, that's gonna conclude all the history and inspiration behind the shoe. So now when focusing onto the details of it, let's just focus onto this toe box right here. And what we are greeted with is an all black mesh toe box, but we do have some white patent leather strips that go around the shoe as well in that toe box area. And when focusing onto the mud guard of the shoe, you can see that it is in that cream colorway. However, it is in that premium, high quality, backstroke motion, hairy suede detail. And what's pretty interesting to note is that when you rub it enough, you do get this white thumbprint, and I have a theory about what that is. But anyways, when moving on to the top of the shoe, you do have some more of that hairy suede right there. And then we're also greeted with this white cream laces. And something else to note is that this sneaker does come with an extra pair of laces, which is this all black pair. However, this stock lace right here is what's going to stay on the shoe because it looks really clean. And then when we actually look onto the mesh of the shoe, we do have an all black mesh. And then we're greeted with this touch right here that says 990 V4. And then once we move towards the top of the tongue tab, you can see that Made in USA flag right there, which is pretty much signifying again that this sneaker is extremely made with high quality materials and of the utmost craftsmanship, because I can assure y'all that I have no quality control issues with my shoe and the materials are just banging. And then when focusing onto the lateral side of the shoe, you can see that we are greeted with that and New Balance logo right there. And it is all black. However, it does have a 3M hit, which means it's going to pop a lot. And also when focusing onto the quarter panel area and the area surrounding it, we are greeted more with that high quality suede detail. And then when focusing onto this side of the shoe on the lateral heel area, you can see that we do have this JFG logo, which is usually where they would put the 990 V4 logo right there. And then when focusing onto the back heel area now, you can see that we do have the 1998 logo right there. However, that specific font is the belly font from the movie. And then right below that, we do have the Made in USA logo. And then right below that, we also have another New Balance logo and this TPU cage that also states New Balance right there. Then when moving on to the medial side of the shoe, the same thing pretty much follows suit, so there's nothing to report on there. Then when focusing onto the midsole of the shoe, you can see that it is an end-cap midsole, and this is probably my favorite colorway midsole out of the three because the other two do have a black midsole, and it's much more plain as opposed to this one having a lighter color that makes the shoe pop even more. And then guys, when focusing onto the outsole of the shoe, I love the traction pattern of the 990 V4s. It's definitely really nice. Something else to note is that we do have a New Balance logo right here. And then somewhere on this heel area, we do have an Endurance logo, which essentially ensures that your outsole is going to last a very long time. And I can attest to that because with my Jown 990 V4s, I wore them for at least 250 miles and they still look great and can still be wearable in a stylish fashion. With that being said, guys, I got one more detail that I want to show you, which is the insoles of the shoe. So when you actually look at these insoles, you can see that they are primarily red, but they do have this kind of tie-dye pink or purple hue to it, which I think is really nice. And then when you look onto this one, it does have the New Balance logo right there. And then when you go onto this one, it actually has Joe FRESHGOODS logo, which I think is a pretty nice touch. And with that being said, guys, that covered all of the details as well as the history of the shoe. So now let's get right into this on for look, all right? So that's going to conclude the review as well as the on full look, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it for y'all. Definitely let me know what you think about the Joe FRESHGOODS and New Balance 990 V4 and the intro colorway. Do you think that these are the best? Do you think that the outros are better? Or do you think that the Keisha blues are the best ones? I definitely want to know your thoughts. And other than that, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Y'all already know the rest. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.